I'm doing today is the removal of this bathroom, or all bathroom. I covered the deconnection or disconnection of the water and the electrics in previous videos. So today we're going to disassemble this wall, maybe that wall as well if I get around to it, and remove all the cables and lights and things like that, and heaters. What I'm quite interested is, what's this? What is this? It is, well, it looks to me like a hearth for a fire, which may mean there's some kind of chimney around here somewhere, because that sounds hollow. It sounds solid. Can you hear the difference? Yeah, so I'm assuming somewhere in here. Oh, yeah, it stands loose. So we might be able to have a look at that once we've got the wall up. And it looks like this is made like all the other walls in the house were, with plywood. I'm going to keep these if they're thick enough for shuttering or something like that. But we'll see when we get around to it. And you can just see, look, more of that. Oh, cool. Right, let's get on it. So I've just taken this panel out. I love this. I love finding these. Newspaper. Because they might have, might have a date of when the work was done. I love that. So interesting. Just try and get this out. And then it's probably the date the bathroom was redone, I guess. Let's get it out and have a look. Look at this. How cool is this? So this is an old French newspaper and it's got a date. Look at this. You can see that. 16th of November 1980. Wow. There's the year I was born. Cool. And you know, I can make out some of the stuff, like for example this is interesting. So what was going on in 1980? So there was somebody stole a car. There was a chimney fire nearby. 2 injured in the Avenue de Paris. Friday afternoon. The collision between 2 cars driven by a 25-year-old and the 61-year-old Rene, artisan electrician. Yeah. Both went to hospital. Kitchen fire on Friday. Oh dear. Fall in the house. Stove fire. Tickets, entry tickets to the cinema have been stolen. We learn the death of Jean-Claude, who lived in such and such. He's been discovered on Friday afternoon, drowned in a well. Oy. All good news on in 1980. This is interesting. I love finding things like that. Just shows you, you know, that board or this plywood, this piece of plywood is the same age as me. I love it. So we know this wall was put in 1980. Or the paper was made in 1980, so it's going to be somewhere around there. I find that fascinating. A friend of mine was doing some, helping him put a roof window in, and he bought a building next to his house, and in there was a bundle of letters from World War One addressed to someone who lived there. They were never delivered. He traced the family into the village, and they still live there, their descendants. So that was pretty cool. Anyway, so this is how thin this wall is, look. That's how they built it back in the day. Now, to be fair, it's like modern French walls anyway, they're all like that. So I'm going to keep these bits of wood, plywood for shuttering. So let me take this wall out. Okay, that's the walls out. Came out a lot easier than I thought, which is good. I've got a lot of stuff now which needs to go to the tip. What things have we found? Well, over there, there's something funny going on over there. Look, you can see the plaster on the wall. Could be a doorway or an old doorway, maybe. I don't know. We'll find out. We've got the chimney, we think is a chimney there because of the half, which is interesting. Okay, so the window is put in. Let me see if we can see. Although it's a UPVC window, they've decided to make it easy on themselves and screw it into the old wooden frame. Which is annoying because that's lead paint. We've got a nice solid wood beam, this thick, so that'll make a nice lintel, and it's quite dry. I'm quite impressed how dry it is here. Down at the bottom, it's damp, but most of it's dry, which I'm really pleased with. So I'm gonna, So I'm gonna tidy all this up, do a load into the back of the car, and then take it to the tip. But the next thing we're going to do now is disconnect all this plumbing downstairs because we don't need it there at the moment. There is the old hot water cylinder down there, which I'm going to do a video on now on how to remove one. I have managed to recover quite a lot of cabling. I've checked it all, it's all in good condition and current colours as well. I've put some over there, so we can reuse that in new conduit if we want, which is very good. And try undo this until air, and then you can do it by hand. slacken that off a little bit for now. Be careful not to do this too far. If you do it too far, then it'll drop off and the entire cistern will empty. So just keep doing that slowly, and what's happening is the air is going in through the thread and letting the water then drain out, and then that nicely just empties out. Of course, if you can't wait for this, then the easiest thing to do is obviously drill a hole in the top of the tank, and that's it. It'll come out really quick. So while this is draining out, have a look up here. This is all the plumbing. Can you believe it? From upstairs. So all we want to do is just, it's all solvent well, so it's pretty much a lot of it's not going to be used anymore. So, but I'll keep the clips. That's something else that's very expensive. I'm just going to cut all of these out. And where it's stuck, and that's excuse the dog. So now that this is finished, we can unscrew it completely. Okay, so I've taken off this old hot water heater. Here it is, lovely. This was a 150 litres and 1,800 watts. I'm trying to find a date on it, but yeah, 2009, 5th of the 11th, 2009 this was manufactured. So it's not that old, but what I thought I'd do is a quick video on what's actually inside one of these things. I've never opened one of these before, but we'll have a look. So first of all, we've got this, which is the thermostat. So this regulates the temperature, and that's inside a metal tube that goes in, and you set your temperature on there. So you can actually take this out and replace it, and no water comes out. So that's always handy to know. Okay, and this is the heating element. Now if you've ever seen one in the UK, they look a bit like this, but this one, so look, looks like this. Again, it's in a tube, so you could change this without taking the water heater off. Look at this. So we have the electrical coils or the heating elements there, and then probably this is some kind of ballast. So this heats up, which heats the tube up, which heats the water up. Again, this can be changed without draining the tank off, which is always good to know. So that's the heating element. Okay. There you go. So I'm going to unscrew these and see what's inside. A large empty tank, and that is pretty much it. Just a big metal tank. Nothing exciting, and that's all it is. See all that crud? Now you can see here the pipe that connects to the hot. So this is the wrong way up, but you can see what happens is the pipe goes to the top to get the hot water right at the top of the cylinder. So because the warm water rises to the top. And that's it. Nothing exciting or tricky or anything really. So you see this here, it's like you find in your kettle, the calcium deposits. But what you can't sell on the video is the smell, and it doesn't smell great. And the problem with stored water is Legionnaire's disease. It can build up in quite a lot of stored water scenarios, especially if it's left cool or warm for a long period of time, which is why I wanted to change this in the first place. But you could actually clean this out, take these off, and it's a perfectly serviceable water heater. But for me, 150 euros for a new one. I'm just going to put a new one in, which is what I've done upstairs. Okay, while we're down here, so we're underneath where we've just taken that bathroom out. I would rather stupidly lifted that pipe up from the upstairs, the waste pipe, and it's disconnected from the floor, which is another another 2 meters down there. So let's just see what's in this hole. So hey, look at that, interesting. So looks like, yeah, look, so I've accidentally pulled it out. I don't know if you can see that. Accidentally pulled it out of that pipe. But this is really interesting. Look at the way that this pipe work has been run into that wire junction. I presume it's because people didn't want to mess around doing it properly. Okay, so that's it for this video. You've seen inside a water heater, you've seen me knock all this down. I'll go and edit it now, and then I'll start filming the next video because I'm here for a while. And hopefully you might be able to see a bit more of a change. Okay, thanks for watching, and don't forget, if possible, can you subscribe and maybe share it? Nearly at 1,000. Be nice to make 1,000 subscribers. Okay, see you on the next one.